Howdy everyone, welcome to the next Positive Gravity. I'm Doug. Today, I'm going to be working with this honking big piece of cherry. See? Ugh, cherry. All right, let's put that down, it's heavy. Let's turn this light on as well. So, nice big slab of cherry. I've pondered and pondered what to do with this for quite some time. I don't know if you can see there's a circle drawn on here. I thought about maybe rounding it up and making a dish, but that would have one advantage. I could get rid of this pith spot, which is way over here. But there's so much, I'd have to get rid of so much wood to do that. I don't want to do that. So what else could we do with it? You can see I've mounted the faceplate on here, so I've already made some decisions. What I did was I located the sort of geometric center on here, just with some cross lines and measurements for the top. So from left to right, that's the middle, and for top to bottom, that's the middle. There went the faceplate. So this is going to be the top of my end product. What I'm thinking I'm going to do, so it's kind of interesting. This piece slopes to the right. You can see it a little bit here. Maybe if I pick it up, you'll see it a little better. So you can see this big slope here. So the tree was, this slice probably came out, either the tree was leaning or something, but it's not a nice straight piece. So it gets a little complicated. So anyway, I located the center for the top, and that's going to get screwed onto the lathe, onto the headstock. And if you transfer this point to the bottom, you end up right about here. So you can see how far off center that is. It's way over here. But that's okay, because I have all this wood up here and all the wood over there. So if you take that dimension and this dimension, including this wood, that's still the center. So that's all right. This is going to end up being the center of our bottom. And so I'm going to mount this onto the headstock, and I'm going to start turning the bottom. This is going to taper up. This is going to taper up. And we'll get a curved bowl shape. What I'm hoping to do is retain this live edge around the top. I'm not sure about this bit over here. You can see this bit over here. I might need to do a little bit of resin work or something, but I'm going to wait till after I do some more turning on it to make that decision, because some of the cracks and things might just go away. But anyway, I'm going to turn it into a bowl on the bottom, and I think once I do that, I think I'm going to end up right about here. Yeah. So once I've turned the bottom, I'll come out the side over here, leaving this live edge as the rim. And on this side, I'll come out probably right about where this line is, so down. It'll be down in here somewhere, probably, where it comes out, and then I'll have to just fix that lip. I'll probably just taper it out, have a long lip on this side. I don't quite have it all in my head. I haven't done one like this before, so I think it's going to work, but worst case scenario, I just round it up and make a bowl. So let's do it. Mount it up by the faceplate. I'm going to keep the pith in this one. This is a nice dry piece of wood, and it's barely cracked at all in the pith, so I'm hoping that it just stays that way. There is a lot of checking and things around the edge. I might need to use resin on that. We'll see what's left in the piece after I turn it. So hopefully this comes out like I wanted. I had to remove a little bit of wood on the edge over here so that it would actually fit on my lathe. This is probably the biggest, girthiest piece I've put on my lathe, and it actually didn't fit at first, so this is all going to get turned away anyway, so I just kind of chopped it off with a chisel. Crude but effective. All right, let's mount her up and see what happens. Don't forget, always enjoy that process. Sometimes that's all you get. Don't miss it. Let's load up. Yipes. That's pretty terrifying. We'll start with the 1/2-inch bowl gouge. I think I'm going to sharpen before I start. Alright, got a nice sharp, freshly sharpened gouge. We're going to come in here and start removing wood. That's 200 RPM. I don't even know where to start. I've got a decent bowl side on here coming around, but nothing here yet. So I need to match the slope of this over here and carry that in just a little bit further. I'd like to get a turned edge out to here. So I really need to keep going in all through here. What to do? I don't want to make the bowl a lot smaller. If I'm going to get into here, this is going to have to come in quite a bit. I could just leave a huge live edge on this side. Somewhat of a consistent shape. Maybe just take this corner, soften this corner right here a little bit. Alright, I've got this outside turned as much as I'm going to do. I want to leave enough lip up here to support this edge, and also when I turn it, when I flip it around, I'm going to have to be able to turn a little bit off here. So yeah, I'm going to just use my sander. I'm going to smooth off these corners and sand off the remaining bark bits that are here, so it'll all kind of look the same. This will be a live edge going along here. It'll be live edge all the way around, but just a bigger live edge right here. So yeah, just like that, no big deal. I think I've got a 60 grit pad on here right now, maybe. Of course, I didn't write on it, so I don't know. Looks like a 60 to me. So yeah, whole bunch of that. I got to put my mortise in, and then I'll flip it around. All right, that's decent. The question now is, are we going to fill these cracks? There's a lot of them. Small ones, big ones. And if we are going to fill them, do we have to do it now? Once I start hollowing the other side, this is going to get thinner and thinner, and all these cracks are going to become more and more dangerous. Right now there's still quite a bit of wood here. That one's deep. I think I'm going to fill them. I know some people like to leave them natural, just call it part of the wood. I like to decorate, so everybody's different. All right, I've decided to do some kind of a resin fill on all of these cracks. I'm going to use the Dremel with a very small bit on it to try to kind of clean these cracks up. We'll see how that goes. Let's do it. I don't like the way that's spinning at all. No, I got the wrong size chuck in there. That could have been dangerous. Alright, got the right collet in here now. Alright, so I decided to do some resin fill on all the cracks that are in the edges of this bowl, or gonna be bowl. So I just really made duct tape pockets. There's a bunch of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, about 15 pockets around the side. And I used some hot glue that you can see here to try to seal it up. It'll be somewhat of a miracle if there aren't leaks, but I couldn't think of another good way to do this. There's still a bunch of small cracking in here, and I will hit those with CA glue at the end. I did a few of them with CA glue, but all these other ones are just a little bit too big for that. So I'm going to mix up some Alumilite clear cast resin with charcoal and slowly drizzle it into these pockets. and let it hopefully wick down into those cracks. I've had marginal luck with this method in the past, but I'll try and see what happens. All right, so I have the cherry bowl back from resin casting. I pulled off some of the tape so I could see what was going on. It looks like I missed a few. I thought I might. There's a nice filled one here, but I missed this one. There's a little bit here, and there's one here that I missed. So I'll have to go back and do a second pour. There's a big one right there. So, but before I do that, I want to clear all this extra resin off. I'm just going to do it on the lathe and turn it, knock all these off so I can see the quality of the fill. And if these look good, then I'll go ahead and just repeat the mechanism, the process on these unfilled cracks. And if they need any more work, I'll have an opportunity to fix those up. So. All right, we got this nice cherry bowl off of the second resin pour, so I just had a few pockets left here. I've been pulling at the tape and trying to figure out how I'm going to get this stuff off. The stuff that's on the curve here I can take off on the lathe like this one, but these that are on the edge I can't do that. I'm going to have to do that manually, so I'm going to try the old-fashioned chisel and hammer method. And see if I can get these down to a reasonable sandable thickness. After many hours of sanding, I am ready to wipe it down with some alcohol. And we'll get a good look at how it looks. Pretty happy with it. Let's see how it looks. Still got a little staining right there. A little staining over here I could try to sand out. In general, I think it looks pretty good. So I decided to go ahead with some Danish oil. Looks like I need to do a little more sanding on the base here. All right, I'm gonna let that sit like that, and then flip it around, and we will start hollowing. There's a lot of cracking here. See all these cracks? Crack. It's gotta be 50 cracks. I mean, it's actually even more down here. A whole bunch. So I definitely don't want to fill all those with CA glue. Way too many. And they're small enough that I'm not sure resin's really going to go in there very well. So I'm a little reluctant to try that as well. In addition, I've already dished this out to a certain extent. I could go a little deeper, but if I go any wider, I'm almost to the edge on right here. So in order to make it wider over here, I'm going to end up making it wider over here, and I'm going to start to lose this edge. This edge will start to drop. So I don't want to go any further with that. So, you know, I have all this, there's a lot of wood right here. It's probably 2 inches of wood maybe right there. Same thing on this side. All through here and pretty much all the way around. So I got myself a dishing wheel for the grinder, and haven't really used one of these before, but I did a little test run on some other wood and it seemed to work fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and try it right here on the lathe and see if I can remove the rest of this material that I don't want, or, you know, a lot of it. So I'm gonna end up with a non-round bowl. That's the plan. So I'm gonna go ahead and try that. Hopefully there isn't a catastrophe. All right, let's try this. So I just took the tailstock and the banjo off entirely. So I've got plenty of room here for this tool. Let's give it a shot. Alright, so that was just a quick little test. It is removing wood. It's going to be a little bit slow, because there's quite a bit of wood to remove here. So I'm going to go ahead and just carry on with that. I got to put some vacuum on and some face masks. All right, so I pretty much got this cherry bowl ground out. This method worked pretty well. This tool was starting to get a little bit dull by the end. This was a lot of wood removal, so not too surprised, but job done. It's not fully even everywhere yet, but I got a lot of sanding to do to remove tool marks, so I'll be able to level even some of this out while I'm doing that. Before I get there though, I still have cracks that I need to fill. Let me zoom in so you can see what that looks like. Look at these, for example. Some of them are bigger, some of them are smaller. So like this crack, it's probably bigger than I really want to fill with CA glue. This one I could probably do with CA, maybe CA over here. This one probably not. This one definitely not. So I have a mixture of cracks that I could do with CA and cracks that I probably need to do a resin pour. It's a pretty big crack here that's not filled. And I also have, although I removed a lot of them, there's still quite a few cracks all along the rim here. Some of them were already filled with resin from the outside when I did the resin. These ones I think I'm just going to do CA glue. I'm just going to touch some CA on all of them. These are really thin hairline cracks that should wick the CA in nicely all the way along all of these, all the way down. So, and then there's a big cavity right here that's going to need resin up in here. So I've got a little bit of resin here, I've got a little bit of resin down here, and then I've got CA on the lip. For the ones that I'm going to do resin, I'm going to clean these out, just like I did on the outside. So I just have my Dremel with a small carving bit on it, and I'll just turn that on and get into these cracks and clean them out. So there's to that. Now we blow them out. Just a little bit of coarse sandpaper. Clean these up a little bit more. Now because this is an end grain piece, there's a lot of end grain showing here. This is all end grain, and this is mostly end grain. So if I just stick CA glue on here, it's gonna wick right into the end grain and leave a big stain. I've tried using various things to block that, and as far as I can tell from reading, lacquer, clear lacquer is the way to go. So this will stay on the surface of the wood, seal it up, and then I can put my CA glue on there and I can put my resin on there, and it shouldn't penetrate the lacquer other than where the cracks are. So I'm gonna go ahead and try that. I've never tried this before, but this has to dry for at least a couple hours. I might leave it overnight. Maybe I'll spray it twice. Spray it once, wait a couple hours, spray it again, and leave it till tomorrow. And then I'll come in and do first I'll do the CA, because that's pretty quick. Once those are done, then I'll tape up pockets and do the bigger cracks. And then it'll have to sit overnight again. All right, after epic amount of sanding, I got this up to the point where I think I can apply finish. Hopefully I won't find too many scratches after that. All these cracks had to be filled, and the You know, the resin did a pretty good job of filling most of it, but I did have to go in afterwards and touch spots with some CA and then sand those down, and it was a lot of work. But yeah, I already had oil on the outside. I have sanded it back a little bit on some spots, so I'm going to hit the outside and the inside with oil. I am using Danish oil, just plain old Watco Danish oil, natural color. So I'm going to go ahead and apply some. Spread it around. Some nice grain coming out. I'm going to just do the inside right now. That pretty much drank all that right up. Let's put some more. Like I said in lots of my videos, you want the oil in the wood, not on the wood. So you're pretty much trying to saturate it until it stops absorbing. These edge pieces right here are really going to drink up a lot. Not sure if I bring this up if it'll focus. So you can kind of get a better look at the resin. All right, so I'm just going to keep at this. I will do this twice at least, probably on the inside and on the outside. I won't do it again tonight, I'll do it tomorrow. And I might apply the second coat with steel wool, we'll see. Sometimes that's helpful to just smooth out any little imperfections anywhere. Just kind of scrub the oil in with a steel wool. Well, there you have it. I will, once I get this all done, I'll have some photos for you. And they'll be happening right after this comment. Which for me will probably be several days from now. Alright, thanks for watching. If you got this far in the video and you appreciate what I've done, I would appreciate if you would go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That's a great way to support my channel and show your support. So thanks for your support, and I will see you on the next one.